Hi, I'm Tio.
And I'm Jim Chapman.
And today we're talking about puberty myths for boys. So what was puberty like for you, Jim?
I remember everything in graphic detail. It was a slow, drawn-out process. When I did finally grow, my arms and legs went first, and my hands, so I looked kind of, slightly odd, out of proportion. I didn't start shaving until I was 21. My voice didn't break until I left school. So you know when you get that sort of thing, it did that a lot. And I think when you're slow, you're watching everyone else, and you're thinking, oh my God, look at them, they're growing up, and I'm not. And then it makes you really self-conscious about everything you do. Like, I started being interested in girls, but I didn't think they were interested in me. And I think it really affected me even afterwards because I was such a late bloomer. By the time I got to university, I was still really shy.
It's important to point out everyone goes through it.
You know, the guy who had a beard at 12, he probably was like, oh my God, I can't be here.
Puberty really can be quite stressful and it can affect your confidence and self-esteem.
Yeah.
But that's why a lot of puberty myths circulate.
Yeah, it's no wonder it's a tough time because your hormones are going crazy and your whole body's changing, and then the only point of reference you have are the people in your class, and they're all going through it at different rates.
So what we're going to do is we're going to bust some puberty myths. There's a lot of myths about masturbation.
Yes.
Apparently it can make you go blind, and it can, if you do it too much, you can't have babies when you're older. Is that true?
No, of course not. I actually think when you're going through puberty, you need to do it. You need to let off some tension.
There's no such thing as doing it too much or too little.
And it's normal. Like, people have been doing it since the dawn of time. Like, it's nothing to. I mean, don't do it publicly. But there's nothing to be ashamed of, you know.
Right, Jim, so balls. If one is lower than the other, you're infertile. Is that true?
No, of course it's not. But there are people with only one testicle and they're not infertile.
And actually, it makes it more comfortable for you.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought it's for, like, running and stuff because it stops them kind of knocking together.
Yeah, that hurts.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
There's also a lot of myths about pubic hair. Apparently, if you don't shave your pubic hair, you'll get lice or nits.
It's got nothing to do with how much hair you have. It's a thing that you get from sexually transmitted infections.
And I think it's just what you're comfortable with. Some people do shave, some people don't. Whatever, don't stress out about it. It's up to you.
Yeah, entirely. It's personal choice. I mean, it's a tricky area to shave.
Don't want to make any mistakes, though.
You don't want to make any mistakes.
And there's another one about hair, not just pubic hair, hair anywhere on your body. Is that if you keep shaving it, it'll grow back thicker and darker.
I don't think that's true. I mean, it didn't work for me. I shaved and shaved and shaved and nothing. So even when I started growing it, it's a very slow process. I had a little tash here, and I started getting a bit on my chin, and then slowly here.
It just grows where it grows.
I'm never going to grow this bit here.
Apparently, if you eat too much junk food and chocolate, sweet foods, it'll give you acne. It'll increase your chances of getting spots.
I don't think it makes much difference to the cause of it, really. When you're going through puberty, it's kind of the prime time to be getting acne anyway, because your hormones and the levels of oil in your skin, it all kind of goes a bit haywire. Obviously, it's great to have a balanced diet, and it's not going to do you any harm, and in fact, it can probably speed your healing.
Like everything else in puberty, it can happen at any age, any time, and at any level. But don't take away something you really like just because you think it's going to stop your spots, basically.
Do you know what? I think when you're going through puberty, you need little victories.
But obviously, there are some cases where acne can get quite severe, and if it is getting you down and you're feeling low about it, you can go to the doctor or the GP about it. So we busted some puberty myths. What can boys expect when they're going through puberty?
Well, I don't think it ever happens in the same order for everyone, but I think pretty much everyone goes through facial hair, your balls growing, all that area kind of growing.
Lots going on down
Lots
there.
going on down
Penis
there.
too. And then the pubic hair comes as well. Voice breaking, spotty face, spotty skin.
Yeah, I remember getting erections all the time.
Random erections.
Like sitting there in class, and if you're sitting down, you're like, okay, that's fine. This one will come and go. It'll be okay. But then when you're walking between class, just try and hide it because you have no control.
Yeah.
Within minutes, you grow out of your clothes.
Yeah.
You get wider, and some people get more muscular. I didn't.
You hear a lot about moody teenagers, but genuinely, puberty does affect your mood.
I just kind of wanted to be left alone, lock myself in my room, and do whatever boys do, play on computer or read books or whatever, because I just didn't really, or masturbate loads.
Thanks, Jim, for coming in and talking to us about that. And join us next week on Childline's YouTube channel. Bye. It's not weird having one lower than the other. It's actually perfectly normal.
I think that the more distance between them, the better. Keep them safe, I think. Also, when you cross your legs and stuff, if they were both together, there'd be no room. They kind of just move over and under each other.
TMI.
Yeah.